Well, good morning. Good morning. This is Charles Coachman and Lana Ferguson, and this is Bay Area Let's Talk the Holy Bible. Bay Area Let's Talk the Holy Bible. It is Thursday, March 9th. 41 degrees in San Jose, California. Lana, what do you have in Lincoln?
In Lincoln, Nebraska, we have 32 degrees and snow. It's kind of a funny snow. It's on the grass, but it's not on the streets or the driveways. And it's supposed to get up into the 40s today. We'll see if that happens. And if it does, we'll probably have more snow. So I'm headed back to the Gretna area. Hopefully, we don't have a whole lot of snow.
No snow for Gretna.
No
Gonna
snow
take it
for
all away. All right. Lana, what do you got for birthdays today?
I have one. His name is Galen Hadley. Galen Hadley was a state senator for the state of Nebraska. He served on the hospital board there in Kearney for a long time. And I just want to wish him, he's pretty much retired now, I think. And I want to wish him a very, very happy birthday. I hope life is good for him and things are going well. You know, some of these people, when you don't hear, and I don't read obituaries as often as I should, sometimes, you don't know. Are they still with us? But I think Galen is. I think we would have heard. He's very loved and very good man.
Well, being that we don't get a newspaper, I never read the obituaries. But I must say that I did for a while.
I did too. All of my policyholders, I would always, every day, I would, those obituaries and make sure everything was good. And so if it wasn't, I could check with those families. But
oh boy,
anymore, my brother Roger keeps me up on everyone that's passing away. It's like he's got that dagger, that cloak and dagger when he calls. But
all right, sis, here you go.
Yeah, here we are, sis. These are the ones that are gone.
Weekly obituary update.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what I've got. And I've got one that should be both of ours. But the first two is Betty Riley is a young lady that I met in Antioch Junior High when we were 7th grade. In 10th grade, she agreed to go to me with I think it was our sophomore hop. And that's about all I could do was hop because I had my leg in a cast all year and I couldn't dance. So luckily the friend that we had went with, he took her and danced. He spent part of the time with his future wife and part of the time with her dancing because this guy wasn't going to be able to dance. So, and she was a sweetheart about it, was very understanding, and
God bless.
Just couldn't do it. Said you can't be dancing with the one-legged man. So,
how about one that's got his arm in a cast? I will never forget.
Arm in a cast, you can do it all night long. One-legged dancing just doesn't happen. But Betty Riley is still a dear lady. We still talk on Facebook, and she'll hold a special place for me, dealing with me as a handicapped man in 10th grade. But Betty, have a wonderful birthday. And then Jerry Jones, I also knew him from Antioch, and his older brother, whom I played football with. And Jerry and his brother were pretty famous in our area, in the Bay Area, because they were white shark hunters. And in the 80s, they did a lot of hunting. And there were videos of them in the water with white sharks. And he was, they were both a little bit crazy. But now Jerry is settled down. He's living up in Alaska, enjoying his family.
Hunting polar bears?
No, as a matter of fact, they were in a nut business selling different types of nuts, and it was a fairly good business. Now, I don't know if he sold the business, but I'm not seeing him do as much advertising with that. So, Jerry, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. God bless you. Enjoy your family. Jerry had also, both him and his brother, while they were out there fishing, they became heavy drinkers. And
That's not good.
yeah, that's not good. But he has now been sober and is AA member for many, many years and is living a good life of sobriety. So, Jerry, God bless you. Very proud of you for that. And wishing you all the best on your birthday. God bless you, man. Enjoy your day and enjoy your family. Now, the next one is somebody that we both know, and that is Tom Gavin from the Grow Live Academy.
Who is Alvin Rudkin then? Do we know him?
Let's hold on. Tom Gavin is a member of the Grow Live Academy, and you should know him.
Yeah.
He was a DJ part-time, but he normally ran radio stations. But now he's a realtor back in, if I'm not mistaken, possibly New Jersey. So Tom Gavin, happy birthday to you. God bless you. And then Alvin Rudkin, I have talked of guys that have contributed to my life. And my uncle Alvin is one of the men that's contributed the most to my life, that I give a lot of credit for being there for me and helping me out and doing a lot of things for me. My uncle Alvin, when we had our antique store, for about 2 years, he would drive down once a week and help me reorganize the antique shop, because when I bought it, it was a complete mess. And when we ended up selling, it was one of the nicest stores in the area. And a lot of that goes to my uncle Alvin, and then also a bunch of friends. But my uncle Alvin was there. He goes, I just want you to succeed. He goes, I want to be able to help you, any way that I can. So he was down there once a week for me, and it was so greatly appreciated. And he has been there since the day I was born. So I am grateful. He turns 89 today.
89. Happy birthday.
89 years old. And he is out there. In the last 2 years, he has built a rat rod. He has rebuilt 2 Corvettes. He has rebuilt a couple other cars, a little Mazda Miata, which he likes to drive around.
Those are cute.
Yeah. And he has done, and he also rebuilt a Jaguar. So he is 89 years old, taking care of his wife, and whenever he's got a chance, he gets out there and works his tail off on his cars. 89 years old.
How old is the Jaguar?
Jaguar is probably 25 years old. So, Uncle Al, God bless you. Happy birthday to you. And to each of you, wishing you all a very happy birthday. If it is your birthday out there, wishing you a very happy birthday. God bless you. Enjoy your day. Make it the best day that you possibly can. Grateful for each of those. Now let's talk about our friends that we're in prayer for. Curtis Brown, Redbird Teamer, Shelly Elliott, Nancy Kirkbrand, Ashley Van Winkle, Jeff Rainey, Eric Beloved Flournoy and family, Wilderly Jacobson. I see that I did not do my job. Wilderly Jacobson, Nathan Ligenfelter, Rob Richardson, Michael Martin, Heidi Baladay.
And of course, Sue Tavares, Janeth Tibio, Brad Goodwin, Mercedes, Sadie Dawn Wimpin, Ken Roush, Brandon and Grace and Elisha Robinson, LaShawna Harper, Gina Rosin, Bill and Lois Dobbs, Roger Bowie and his family, Dexter Thompson and Dee and their family. Also Terry and especially Terry, thanking God for just sheltering you and covering you with his mercies and his love. Carmen, and we also have Carol Lindell, Ronan Bowie, Anna, Debbie Schultz Bendendorf and her daughter, and Julie Brennan, Mike Ferguson, Pamela Bowie, Sarah, and Doug Wing. And I believe tomorrow is when he has that biopsy done. So
Okay.
just praising God and thanking God for Doug and for the blessings that God is showering him with
Amen.
for peace. I see where he was with his sister, and that was so neat to see that they were doing their thing yesterday.
Yep. Now, Bill Dobbs, how is he doing? Is
All
he
right.
out of the hospital now?
Grandpa Bill is in a care facility for rehab right now, getting
Okay.
his strength. He was in and out of that hospital for over a month,
Mm,
maybe even a little longer, and his strength was just gone. So they want to build that up so he can go home.
amen.
And with some care and assistance, still praying for the right people to be with them and till they're back on their feet and they can possibly get back to doing what they do so well.
Amen. All right. Here's what we're going to be reading today: Ephesians 6:10 through 20, and then Genesis 31, 1 through 55. We're going to stretch it out today. And let's see who's here with us as my voice cracks. Good morning, Lana and Charles. Blessings to all this beautiful morning. Arnie Carvajal, good morning to you. God bless you, man. Wishing you a wonderful day. And just praying that you guys have had a wonderful time in Monterey. And I don't know if you're driving home today or
I
still
think
going to hang
Kathy's
out
going
there.
to address that here in a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, Arnie, God bless you, man. Thank you for being here. We absolutely love that. And then good morning, Charles, Lana, family and friends. Still hanging out by the ocean. We'll head home later on this morning. Have a blessed day. And again, thank you for all the kind words and birthday wishes. It was a beautiful day.
I'm sure it was. I'm so glad.
Amen.
I would
Kathy,
hang
you
out
deserve
there
it.
until about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I don't know what your traffic.
Oh, you want to be there for the sunset.
Oh yeah, and then come home later this evening. Why hurry home when you can be by the ocean?
Well, they want to get home because I think
Yes.
it's a bit of a drive.
How far is it?
I'm not sure exactly how long it is for them, but I'm gonna guess it's probably 120 miles,
Oh,
maybe
it's a ways up there.
150 miles. I would think, but I'm not exactly sure.
About a two. Well, here that would be maybe not even 150, 75, about 2 hours. Going
Mm.
75.
Well, Kathy, we are glad that you had a wonderful day, and just so happy for you guys getting to spend that time in Monterey. I know that you guys like to go there, so I'm glad that you've had a good time. And thank you for being here with us. We
Yes.
absolutely love it.
Always, Kathy.
And then Brad the Share, it's good morning, everyone. Have a blessed day. 6482.
No
That's a
snow.
nice
I'll bet
day,
no
man.
snow, huh?
We're going right from winter to spring on this one. So, Bradley, thank you for being here. And you have an awesome day out there.
Have a good one, Brandon.
Are you catching a little bit of Astro baseball during the days? Wishing you all the best, Bradley. God bless you, man. And then Diane Cazares Hayhurst. Good morning, friends. Enjoy your day.
Diane.
Diane, good morning to you. Wishing you and David both a beautiful day, and thank you for being here. God bless you. We certainly appreciate you being with us, and absolutely love it. And Nancy Medina, Tibia Malunda. Good morning, Charles and Lana, and blessings to all our friends out there. Nancy, thank you for tuning in from the Philippines. We truly love that and appreciate you doing that. Wishing you a wonderful evening and day to come. God bless you. And shared and done.
Thank you.
Nancy, thank you for doing that. If you guys would like to share this out, please do. We want to spread the word of God. We want to spread the story of Christ and the story of the Bible everywhere that we go. All right. And then there was a message last night from Frank Nell that they are going through some storms where she's at, and their power is intermittent. So she asked us to please pray for her and those in her area. So
Yeah.
absolutely, Frank Nell, just wants you to know that we're thinking about you. God bless you. And
Here's Kathy again.
Our trip to Monterey is just a little under a 2-hour drive. We need to get back home. The rains are coming in this afternoon. We're not sure how strong the storm is going to be. Well, we know the rains are going to be heavy. At least that's what they're expected. We're expecting upwards of 10 inches, I believe I heard in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So we'll probably get 2 or 3 inches here if that's the case. And you guys need to get home and make sure that everything is good.
Charles says you need to get home.
Well, I just understand the feeling of wanting to get home.
First you say, "Oh, I understand it too." It's always hard when you're away and you think there's a storm that might be coming.
Well, they say, what was the headline that I read this morning? It says, California is again in the crosshairs of an atmospheric river that is expected to dump tremendous rain and snow. So in some of the lower lying areas in the mountains, like in the Sierras, where they have got snow up to their roofs, and with the rain coming in and the weather being a little bit warmer, they're afraid of floods. And they're afraid of mudslides. In the upper areas, they're expecting anywhere from 5 feet of snow up in some of the higher areas. So this is the most snow. This is the most snow that we've had, I think, in about 50 years. So tell us that the drought is soon over.
I forget what they call the 10-year rains in Nebraska, but or something like that. It comes down and you might have 3, 4, 5 inches of rain within an hour. And that's an event that they have a special name for, and it happens about every 10 years. You'll have a downpour like that, and it's like the heavens just open up. It's something to go through. Not that you want it to happen, but it is something to go through because it's almost like a full blast of a shower that lasts for about an hour, and it's just consistent. It just keeps coming and coming.
Well, this is going to be the full blast of a shower, but it's going to be lasting many hours where it just doesn't give up. It's wave after wave after wave. And we have had, there's people that are trapped in their homes in various areas, down in Southern California, especially, where they've had people die because they have no power and they're stuck in these places. And
that's sad.
There's been loss of life, and we hate to hear that. So we're hoping that this will open things up a little bit for some of those, melting the snow away, and that it doesn't cause any further problems or damages for folks. So God bless you. Kathy and Arnie, you guys travel safe, and God bless you.
Just getting home might be the solution of the day too. If it starts.
Arnie, hey, look, they got Arnie driving, and then if she needs to, Kathy can put on her racing suit and drive on through.
Just get right through those 10-foot waves. I mean, it'd be all right. Is that
Well,
what you're saying?
they're going away from the waves, so
Oh,
they're
dear.
going the opposite. And then what's the brother have? And here we sit in
Extreme
extreme drought
condition.
conditions.
Yes.
Bradley, we're going to send you a little rain. Might not be a lot, but we're going to send you some
Distribution would be good. The distribution
distribution.
factors in our country are not doing well. So you're right, Bradley. They could share. Nebraska could get a bit of that.
Yeah, but you know what? Sue the government for equity and rainfall. That's all I got to say.
How much in reparation would that be?
Enough.
Oh, enough of that. It's just almost like it's almost like a soap opera, which it should not be, but it almost
The
is.
world turns.
Yeah.
And here we are sitting in the drought as the world turns.
Yeah.
All right, Bradley, God bless you, man.
God bless you.
You know it's going to change at some point. It's just a matter of time, and we have to get through it. We certainly have waited long enough. All right, Lana's going to read us in Ephesians, and then we're going to jump right over to Genesis 31.
If Lana is not reminded, sometimes things go astray. The whole armor of God. A final word. Be strong with the Lord's mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all struggles and tricks of the devil. For we are not fighting against people made of flesh and blood, but against the evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against those mighty powers of darkness who rule this world, and against wicked spirits in the heavenly realms. Use every piece of God's armor to resist the enemy in the time of evil, so that after the battle you will still be standing firm. Stand your ground, putting on the sturdy belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news, so that you will be fully prepared. In every battle, you will need faith as your shield to stop the fiery arrows aimed at you by Satan. Put on the salvation as your helmet and take the sword of the Spirit, for which is the word of God. Pray at all times and on every occasion in the power of the Holy Spirit. Stay alert and be persistent in your prayers for all Christians everywhere. And pray for me too. Ask God to give me the right words as I boldly explain God's secret plan that the good news is for the Gentiles too. I am in chains now for preaching this message as God's ambassador, but pray that I will keep on spreading boldly for him as I should. And that
Amen.
is the whole armor of God. I love that version of the armor of God.
Amen.
The New Living Translation. Red letter. Red letter.
We will talk about the red letter later on. All right. Now Lana's going to take us over to Genesis 31 as we catch up on the latest of Jacob and his family travels.
This is like reading a portion out of some movie, too. Jacob flees from Laban. But Jacob soon learned that Laban's sons were beginning to grumble. Jacob has robbed our father, they said. All his wealth has been gained at our father's expense. And Jacob began to notice a considerable cooling in Laban's attitude toward him. Then the Lord said to Jacob, return to the land of your father and grandfather and to your relatives there, and I will be with you. Jacob called Rachel and Leah out to the field where he was watching the flocks, so he could talk things over with them. Your father has turned against me and is not treating me like he used to, he told them. But the God of my father has been with me. You know how hard I have worked for your father, but he has tricked me, breaking his wage agreement with me again and again. But God has not allowed him to do me any harm. For if he said the speckled animals were mine, the whole flock began to produce speckled lambs. And when he changed his mind and said he could have the streaked ones, then all the lambs were born streaked. In this way, God has made me wealthy at your father's expense. During the mating season, I had a dream and saw that the male goats mating with the flock were streaked, speckled, and spotted. Then in my dream, the angel of God said to me, Jacob. And I replied, Yes, I'm listening. The angel said, Look, and you will see that only the streaked, speckled, and spotted males are mating with the females of your flock, for I have seen all that Laban has done to you. I am the God you met at Bethel, the place where you anointed the pillar of stone and made a vow to serve me. Now leave this country and return to the land you came from. Rachel and Leah said, That's fine with us. There's nothing for us here. None of our father's wealth will come to us anyway. He has reduced our rights to those of the foreign women. He sold us, and what he received for us has disappeared. The riches God has given you from our father are legally ours and our children's to begin with. So go ahead and do whatever God has told you. So Jacob put his wives and children on camels. He drove the flocks in front of him, all the livestock he had acquired at Padam Aram, and set out on his journey to the land of Canaan, where his father Isaac lived. At the time they left, Laban was some distance away, shearing his sheep. Rachel stole her father's household gods and took them with her. They set out secretly and never told Laban they were leaving. Jacob took all his possessions with him and crossed the Euphrates River, heading for the territory of Gilead.
Mm. When it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob had fled, then he took his kinsman with him and pursued him a distance of 7 days' journey and overtook him in the hill country of Gilead. God came to Laban, the Aramean, in a dream of the night and said to him, Be careful that you do not speak to Jacob either good or bad. Laban caught up with Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsmen camped in the hill country of Gilead. Then Laban said to Jacob, What have you done by deceiving me and carrying away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and deceive me, and did not tell me so that I might have sent you away with joy and with songs, with timbrel and with the lyre, and did not allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Now you have done foolishly. It is in my power to do you harm, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, Be careful not to speak either good or bad to Jacob. Now you have indeed gone away because you long greatly for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods? Then Jacob replied to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I thought that you would take your daughters from me by force. The one with whom you find your God shall not live. In the presence of your kinsmen, point out what is yours among my belongings and take it for yourself. For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. So Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and into the tent of the two maids, but he did not find them. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the household idols and put them in the camel's saddle, and she sat on them. And Laban felt through all the tent, but did not find them. She said to her father, Let not my lord be angry that I cannot rise before you, for the manner of woman is upon me. So he searched, but did not find the household idols. Then Laban became angry, and then Jacob became angry and contended with Laban. And Jacob said to Laban, "What is my transgression? What is my sin that you have not that you have hotly pursued me? Though you have felt through all my goods, what have you found of all your household goods? Set it here before my kinsmen and your kinsmen, that they may decide between us two. These 20 years I have been with you, your eyes and your female goats have not miscarried, nor have I eaten the rams of your flocks. That which was torn of beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it myself. You required it of my hand, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was by day, and the heat consumed me, and frost by night, and my sleep fled from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your house. I served you 14 years for your two daughters and 6 years for your flock, and you changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac has not been for me, surely now you would have sent me away empty handed. God has seen my affliction and my toil of my hands, so he rendered judgment last night." Then Laban replied to Jacob, "The daughters are my daughters, and the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. But what can I do this day to these my daughters, or to their children whom they have borne? So now come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me." Then Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. Jacob said to his kinsmen, "Gather stones." So they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Now Laban called, oh boy. Now Laban called it Jagar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. Laban said, "The heap is a witness between you and me this day." Therefore it was named Galeed. And Mizpah, for he said, "May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from another. If you mistreat my daughters, or if you take wives besides my daughters, although no man is with us, see, God is my witness between you and me." Laban said to Jacob, "Behold this heap, and behold the pillar which I have set between you and me. The heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness, that I will not pass by this heap to you for harm, and you will not pass by this heap and this pillar for me for harm. The God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us." So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and called his kinsmen to the meal, and they ate the meal and spent the night on the mountain. Early in the morning, Laban arose and kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned to his place. That is Genesis 31. All right, Lana, what are you getting from this?
We talked about this. That term, Mizpah.
The tower.
And what's that?
The tower.
Yes. And what it stood for, because in back in the day, my grandmother was born in 1896. Her parents came over here in 1890 something. Every letter that was written, she had 2 brothers, 4 sisters, and I don't know. I have to remember counting them back. But everything they did by letter. Although my grandmother and her sister, one sister, were telephone operators, they didn't call one another. They wrote. And then they would share those letters, and on each letter would be at the bottom Mizpah. And as I got just a little older, I'd say, "Grandma, what is that?" And she says, that says, may the Lord stand between thee and me while we are absent one from another. Mizpah. And this addresses that. Every one of them on their letters, Mizpah, Mizpah, Mizpah. Now, I don't know that they had any great conflict. I don't know what went on. I have no idea why they did that. And I was telling Charles about that. But it was very significant to them. It was like an oath that they would take, that maybe they all stood together. I'm not quite sure about that. And I'll have to identify that with my brother Roger. He's done genealogy, and there are relatives over in England in that area. My grandmother went over there when my brother was stationed there. They looked and looked for relatives. And my grandma was one that just she didn't like nonsense. She was all for fun, but she didn't like nonsense. So they're out there trying to find these relatives, which she thought was stupid, and my brother Dick thought was really going to be nice. They got it right down to where the last person that absolutely could have identified as a relative was in prison. And when Grandma told that story, she just said, don't ever go looking for your relatives. You never know where you're going to find them. So that's what this means to me. It was significant in my life growing up. Now, as far as what went on, we are yet to find out if this stood solid. I mean, we see that Laban never took anything too seriously when he said he'd do something, right?
His word never meant anything.
It didn't mean a thing. So let's see if by building this pile of stones, if the witness pile, if he actually goes and keeps his word this time. But that witness pile means something going on in the future, I'm sure. And that interests me a lot.
Amen. So I am wondering why. I'm wondering why he did that. I'm wondering why he kept changing his word. As it says here that Jacob says, you changed my income 10 times.
Yeah.
You changed my outcome many times upon that. First, if the sheep were striped, they were all mine. Then if they were striped, they were all yours.
Yeah.
Then if they were spotted, they were all mine. Then when they were spotted, they were all yours.
Not only that, did you notice how he says, well, these are my daughters? He goes back on his word there, like, and I need my grandchildren and my daughters. Why have you taken those from me? And, it just seems like Laban, you couldn't depend on his word.
And Jacob let him know, I worked 14 years for these two women.
Yeah.
For your daughters.
And the first one, I mean, wasn't even anything.
So that was a tough one. But why did she steal her father's idols?
Those were idols.
Yeah. Why did she steal them? Now there's different thoughts on it. Nobody knows why she stole them. But there's thoughts that maybe she wanted to keep her father from worshiping these idols. Not that she wanted them for himself, but she wanted to keep her father from turning from God to these idols. So that might be
a story going on, Charles, about the idols. Was she carrying just a bit of her childhood back with her as she left that land?
She could have been.
We don't know, and I guess we'll find out. I'm sure there's nothing written that doesn't have a purpose in the future of this generation that goes on. But Laban, you're wondering, how many times do we see treaties broken?
see it quite often. But here, Jacob says, if you find your possessions on anyone here, let that person be killed.
Yeah. Well, he didn't find him.
Not having any idea that Rachel had snatched those, the one who he truly loved. And somehow they don't find him. So we
and
go
to sit, and not only that, what I thought of was this: she lied to her father.
Yes, she did.
She lied. That, you know, that's something that it just caught me, because I thought, if my father ever asked me directly about anything, I did not lie. There was just no way. Lying to my dad was not a path that you could take. Now, my mom, that was a little different. You could kind of sideswipe her a little bit.
Deception was part of their lives.
Yeah.
And that was just one more deception, which Jacob was very familiar with.
They all were. I mean, this is a pretty good movie. I mean, if you get right down to it, this could be really good. It might be a little hard to watch.
I'm glad we're digging into it. Anyway, this is a good spot for us to finish for today. I want to wish everyone a wonderful day. Have a very happy Thursday. You driving home, drive safely. Me too. Wishing everyone a blessed day. And if you'd like to join us tomorrow, we will be here as we continue our walk through the Bible. And in the words of our dear buddy, Mr. Fitz, have a red letter day. God bless you guys. We'll see you soon. And I just want to thank you guys, each one of you, for tuning in. And Lana, especially you, for doing your reading. We're grateful for you. And we're grateful for each one of you that is tuned in. Thanks so much. God bless you. Have an awesome day. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Have a red letter day.